I was born in Cuernavaca, Morelos, in Mexico. But when I was 2, my parents migrated to the United States, and they migrated to Illinois. My parents worked a lot. They used to clean offices at night, and we would go, the whole family would go. So I'm the youngest of 3, and my older sisters would clean with them. But I was so little that they would just kind of like put me in a chair and I would go to sleep. My mom, she became a single mom when I was 9. And then when I was in middle school, she picked me up one day from school and she said to me, "We're going back to Mexico." And so we went back. So then when I was 14, my mom couldn't find a job. She just couldn't find a job. And then the other thing that happened is she missed my sisters. We crossed the border, undocumented. It was a horrible experience for me. We could see people crossing the border legally from where we were crossing. And I kept thinking, like, these people can do that. Why can't I? Why can't I do that? So, it's a very dehumanizing experience. I think that's the best word to put to that experience. It's very dehumanizing, and it makes you think that, you are like a second-class citizen. The years that it was like 2 years or a year and a half that I spent in Mexico, those 2 years and the crossing of the border took away my childhood. Like, it was gone. I could not sit in class anymore and pay attention. I remember for months sitting in class and just thinking, this doesn't matter. Like, whatever the teacher is saying to me right now has nothing to do with life. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, obviously I was traumatized and all these things, but back then I didn't know that was happening to me. When I was in junior year, I found out that you needed a social security number to get into college. I felt like my whole world just crumbled because I had put all my efforts in school. I researched in all the universities that were close to, or in South Dakota, which is not a lot, but did ask for a social security number. So I said I have to move if I think I'm ever gonna get a higher education. So then I moved to Minnesota after graduating from high school with my family. I kept working for years like that. And I was very involved in church. I was raised very Catholic. And this guy comes and he talks about Isaiah and about passing driver's license for immigrants. I started working for Isaiah my first months of having DACA. It was a big change for everything that I was doing in my life. I was able to get a driver's license for the first time. I was able to get a car under my name. I was able to get a job that actually paid me well. And, it's like those simple things that I think people who have documents don't realize. And, with them, we have fought for years now, and we're still fighting for driver's license for immigrants. We've passed legal defense funds in cities and counties so that there's more legal support for undocumented immigrants. After 2016, we built a sanctuary network. There's more than 55 congregations now. The only reason we need a sanctuary network is because of how many people constantly are getting picked up and people don't know. I tell people a lot of times, people say, well, I have to go to the border to understand this. No, people are getting picked up by immigration. Their rights are getting violated every day here in the state. And the sanctuary movement has done so much work since then. And they're used to, we have never had this amount of sanctuary people in one network. So yeah, I want to keep making sure that immigrants that have stories like mine or different than mine, and refugees and, just people that are oppressed in this country in general, learn that their story is important and that they have so much to give.